welcome to Second Age of Reason. Today we're here to talk about the ticklish topic of secession. S-E-C-E-S-S-I-O-N. This has come up because some people were maybe unhappy with the results of the most recent election. They couldn't reconcile themselves with the results. Well, there may have been some fraud, and there may have been some truth. But the election is as the election is. And so this is what we're facing. But maybe they're talking about more general topics, that the federal government is too overreaching, too controlling, too manipulative, wasting too much money. And well, those all may be true, but nothing was said during the election or in the debates. At least not at the two brand name party debates. The other ones were quite comprehensive and quite well suppressed by the powers that be. So, I'm just going to give you a little background. There has been secession in the past. The results were not pretty. Well, that was like about 140, 50 years ago. The results of another secession from the British Empire also were not very pretty, but it had a good outcome. I think the one also 150 years ago had a good outcome. But you face a similar thing in proposing such a deal like that today. Secession was considered valid and an argument before the Civil War. But now it's been becoming kind of anathema, something you are not allowed to talk about, a taboo. So the idea is that the United States would only keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and never shrink. I guess that was called manifest destiny. And I think today we still have some manifest destiny inside the mass psyche of America. So we have maybe Puerto Rico coming on as a 51st state. Who next? England, Europe, Cuba, South America, Australia. Well, it depends. On the other hand, you have these secessionists who want to shrink it down. Now, there's some things to be aware of. Do you just want one state to break off? But if all 50 have put in petitions, it sounds like the whole thing is over. A 50-way divorce. And that could be interesting as well. Some argue it's not a total, break up into 50 individual banana republics. No, they just break up to dissolve their union with the federal government and start a new republic government. Well, you could try that, but that just doesn't make the federal government go away. It just doesn't disband these millions of employees. They're still there. And the powers that be, or the puppets that be, they're going to be looking for you. The thing is, it's probably like whenever you're into a group activity, where everybody says, let's all do this. And they all say, yes, let's all do this. But when it comes to actually doing it, only one or two actually do, and the rest just kind of run away, scared. And the two that do it get in big trouble. So I just thought I'd let you know about that from personal experience. And secondly, there is the group that would say that people who propose secession might be considered traitors. So you have some possible repercussions in that regards. And if you form another government, there's some repercussions in that regards. Who are you going to hire? Who's going to want to work for you? What are you going to use for money? Are you going to make a new dollar? What's going to back this dollar? Do you have banks? And whose banks, and what are they connected to? That's the biggest issue of all, I think. Because you may be able to in your mind think of a new United Republic States with all the old constitutional things brought back. But you're going to start off pretty weak, and you have a lot of sharks swimming around looking for some small tidbits to gobble up. So that's something to consider. Lastly, or at least another topic, would be divide and conquer. Who's putting these ideas in the heads of the secessionists? Who do they represent? Because, like the people who are concerned about them being traitors, it might be so. They may be dupes, patsies. Okay, so you break the United States up into a bunch of little republics. Each republic now needs to negotiate new treaties with its neighbors and import and export rules and all that trade stuff. And you're going to have to come up with a new kind of currency. Are they all going to have the same agreed upon currency? The dollar? Well, if you're going to use the dollar, then you may as well not even do anything in the first place. So you'll have to come up with some new currency. Just guess. The Amero? And then, who will trade with it, and how much is it worth? Is it like a euro? And who controls the euro? Are you going to let the banks control? Because here I see divide and conquer. 50 little republics. Each bank can then in turn gobble each one up in the financial side and control each little republic. The independence is gone. The old Constitution is kept by the old federal government and now becomes an artifact. And you've lost it all. You feel good about that? So please comment below. Up thumb, down thumb, whatever. So, I just thought I'd leave these ideas with you until later. We'll be seeing you. Mm-hmm.